Friend, don't be mad at me. I know I said I was on a yarn ban. If you want to know, I am on a yarn ban. I am on a yarn ban. But hear me out. This yarn was on sale and I've had my eye on it literally forever. It's from Hobie. It's the Tea Time. It's in this color. I think it's color number 5. Since I started doing fiber arts, like when I learned how to crochet a few years ago, I've always wanted to make a blanket, but I know myself and I know just big projects in general scare the heck out of me. I think to this day, the biggest thing that I've ever made was my cardigan number 9. I have not tackled a big project literally since then. As a self-proclaimed whip abandoner, big projects are like not really my thing. But for a long time, I've wanted to make a blanket and I've had my eye on this yarn and it went on sale. Friend, I know. Like my idea is to do a solid granny square blanket. Like this image specifically was my inspiration. I like how the yarn, it looks like it's one color of yarn as opposed to like using separate colors, but the yarn is color changing. As you do the solid granny square, the color changing yarn kind of like makes the design, I guess. This image specifically is my inspiration. I have it saved to literally every device. It's been imprinted in my mind forever. I've had my eye on this yarn forever. And I'm kind of going through like I don't want to say a rut, kind of like a meh phase in all of my projects. Like nothing is really sparking my interest. Nothing is really making me feel inspired these days. And I think doing a solid granny square would just be nice to kind of do something mindless. Also, I think the reason why I've never been able to make a crochet blanket like from start to finish is because most of the designs I have in my head are super complex. I started making a 3D rose blanket and I'm not even halfway through. I've been working on this project for almost a year and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? I know I'm not a big project gal, and yet my big projects, I tackle like the most impossible ones. So I'm thinking that a solid granny square blanket using only one color of yarn is like a doable big project for my brain. Also, I think maybe contributing a little bit to kind of my, what are we gonna call it, knitting fatigue? I think kind of what's contributing to me not being like super excited about any of my projects. Tell me if this even makes sense. I feel like my color palette is changing. Like the colors that I'm attracted to, the colors of yarns that I want to use, I feel like they're changing and almost like drastically. Like I feel like, I don't know, like most of the colors that I have are really bright, like hot pink colors. I feel like they're not my vibe right now. I feel like they're not the colors of my life season right now. Does that make any sense? I think when I'm sitting down to do projects, I'm just like, oh, I don't know, like I could make something really cute out of this, but I probably wouldn't wear it and I probably wouldn't use it. And knowing already that my mind just wants to hop from project to project to project, that's not good for me. So I'm taking a step back just a little bit and I'm gonna be making this crochet blanket. How long it's gonna take me? Probably 5 ever, but we're starting it. I got 3 of these. I don't know how many I'm gonna need. When I was counting the picture, it looks like it's 10 rows. I'm gonna start 10 rows and then see how big that makes it. I'm not trying to make like a super jumbo blanket, just one that's like not twin size. What's the size above twin size? I want to make like a full size blanket. So I have 3 to start off with. I'm really hoping that's enough, girl, because oh, and this is not sponsored. This is not sponsored. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. It says use 5.5, but I think I might use just like a number 5 hook. I have to find a solid granny square pattern because I have no idea how to do that. Also, I haven't crocheted in a hot minute. I started crocheting first and I feel like I was able to pick up knitting so fast. Like knitting really clicked for me once I became a proficient crocheter, and so I don't crochet very often. I kind of like it, and I think once I get the hang of the solid granny square, it'll be nice to kind of just do something mindless. Is that boring to say that I've gone from super bright hot pink bold colors to fairly neutral? But it's color changing. Let's not ever forget, even when we're using neutrals, it would never be boring. If I'm making it, even if I'm using neutrals, it will never be boring. But I don't know, this is like, I feel like this is kind of more my vibe right now. I can't really explain it. This is the Pantone effect. No, it's not. These are ginormous. They're huge. I've never used any Hobie yarn before. This is 100% acrylic yarn and it's 200 grams. Is 200 grams a lot? I feel like every fiber artist has made themselves a blanket, right? Right? Friend, have you made yourself a blanket? How long have you been doing fiber arts? And have you made a blanket? Whether it be for you, for somebody else. Yes, baby blankets count. Have you made a blanket at all? I feel like I feel like when you tell non-fiber artists that you do like knitting or you do crochet, the first thing that they think of is like, oh, like you make blankets or you make scarves. I feel like every knitter, every crocheter has made a blanket at some point in their career, right? This is my blanket art. I'm excited. This is gonna be the project that I work on throughout the year, you know, when I'm kind of need like a break in between my knitting projects, or sometimes I just get bored. Like the knit that I'm working on right now, it's a billion rows of stockinette. Sometimes I just want, you know, like a little bit of a break, something different. And I think working on something more practical, something that I'm excited to make, something that I already have plans to use, and in a yarn that I absolutely love, I would consider this like an exciting neutral. We're gonna swatch it a little bit and we're gonna see what's going on for real, for real. It is 6:10 in the evening, and I just woke up from the fattest, juiciest nap. And this is a PSA to say, if you feel like your life is falling apart, you probably just need a really good nap. All day today, I've been like, what's going on with me? I've felt like I was on another planet, and then I took a nap, and suddenly all is right in the world. I'm currently knitting up my weekend tote by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern that I've wanted to make literally 5 ever. It's starting to get warm outside very slightly, and that's encouraging me to knit warm weather things. And by warm weather things, I mean basically like find projects that I want to use cotton yarn for. I'm making the smaller version of the bag. My idea is to have like a little carry around bag that I can take, I don't know, like on my summer adventures, I guess, when I go roller skating or when I go to the farmer's market. I'm obsessed with this color. But yeah, that's currently what I'm knitting. I'm gonna do that for a little bit tonight. While I'm knitting the bag, I'm thinking of like a million other like summer warm weather things that I want to knit. One thing for sure, though, I definitely want to find a pattern is like a hair scarf. In the summer, definitely sometimes, you know, I love me a good scarf. I love to just like keep my head protected underneath. And so I want to make, I want to make a headscarf. Also, a scarf is a smaller project, so I'm trying to tackle projects that I know that I'm going to finish. I'm thinking maybe in like a lighter weight yarn, maybe a DK, or what's the weight that's under DK? I'm not very familiar with the system, but like a lighter weight yarn just so that it drapes well. I'm kind of thinking that in like a cotton for a headscarf. I think that'd be really cute, especially in like a neutral color that matches most of my outfit. That's kind of the vibe maybe that I might do after the bag, but for right now we are knitting in the round 5 bajillion rows for the weekend tote. I absolutely love this color of yarn. I'm very excited about her for sure. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the cotton yarn is like a little rougher on my hands. Like even just knitting in the round, sometimes my hand that's like my right hand, I'm right-handed, the hand that I'm using, like it grazing against the yarn, it's not very soft. So it kind of hurts my hand. Like I feel like I have to take more breaks than I would if I was using wool yarn. Is that a common occurrence? I will say that for this pattern, I did modify it just a bit. I think on the written pattern it says use 3.75 or 3.5 needles, and I'm using 4 needles because these are the ones that I have. Also on the bottom it's supposed to be garter stitch. Is this controversial to say, but I hate the garter stitch. Like any pattern that has a garter stitch in it, I'm gonna change it to stockinette, and if I can't change it to stockinette, I'm not gonna make it. I don't know, I don't like garter stitch. I don't think it looks good. I am taking pictures and logging it in Ravelry. I had no idea Ravelry was going up like that. Recently someone commented like, can you add the bandwidth bonnet pattern to Ravelry? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I guess. Like I didn't even think about it. I don't be on Ravelry like that. So I've kind of just been on there ever since, just playing around. I've found actually a lot of cute patterns that I kind of want to attempt maybe one day. I found this one pattern specifically. I think it would be a super cute like layering piece over my swimsuit. That's something that I want to make in cotton yarn for sure. And then there's one other one. The idea is I want like a crochet knit mix cardigan, like something like this. This was the pattern that I feel like is the closest to the idea that I have in my head. The only thing is I don't like the super deep V-neck on the pattern. I don't know if I'm gonna get this pattern, but I want to make something similar. This is kind of like my inspiration. This would be a cute little cardigan to just throw on, you know, like a summer nighttime cardigan. I'm trying to plan my summer knits already because I feel like when I'm getting dressed so many times, I'm like, oh, I wish I had this to pair with this outfit, or I wish I had this. And it's mainly like layering pieces. So I'm gonna try to make, you know, like some layering pieces. Is it too early to start planning summer knits? No, it's February, right? But the bag is coming along nicely. I can't really see how big it's gonna be just because You know, all the stitches are kind of crunched up together. I'm thinking it's going to be big enough at least. I have a book that I'm reading right now. I wish I was somebody who could read and knit at the same time. I feel like if you're going to read while you knit, knitting in the round is the easiest way to do it. Maybe it's because I have like a physical book, like I can't keep the book open while I knit, but I'm not really like an e-reader person. But I guess I'd be willing to try if that meant, you know, like I could read my book while I knit, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to concentrate on both things at the same time. If you read and you knit at the same time, please tell me how you do it. I feel like that's like some type of sorcery. I fear I wouldn't be able to concentrate on both of them. I feel like I'd either mess up my knits or I wouldn't fully comprehend what I'm reading. Please tell me how you do it. I'm literally so curious. A couple days later, this is how much we have on the granny square. Actually, let's get into this color. See, this is why I had to break the yarn band. This was for a good cause. I am absolutely in love with the way that the colors are changing. It started off like a lighter brown, maybe like a light tannish brown, and then it gradients into like grays and blacks, and it kind of looks a little bit dark brown. I am absolutely in love with this, and I feel like it's gonna look even cuter once I have all of the squares made and then I put them all together. And honestly, the cherry on top, like the best part to me, is the fact that I'm not gonna have to weave in a million ends. On my next ones, the center end, I'm gonna try to crochet over it so I can just cut it at the end. But absolutely obsessed with this color scheme. Oh my goodness. This yarn was even prettier than it was online. I couldn't find like many people who had swatched it so I could see a video of how it looks IRL. The other night when I was trying to film, I felt like it was impossible to catch like the colors on camera, but it's daytime now, so I think the light is hitting it just a little bit better. Also, I moved to a different part of my room. This thing is literally huge and it's only at 9 rows. I'm really curious to see how long it takes me to do one row. If I had to guess, I'm thinking maybe like 5 or 6 minutes. But we're gonna put on a timer. I'm actually really curious just because this thing is ginormous. I'm gonna pull back the couple stitches that I already did. No cheating. Ready, start.
I feel like the way that the camera's set up, I can't even like, it's not ergonomic friendly. I paused it, but we were at 25 seconds, so. Back to our scheduled programming.
Friend, what did I say? 6 minutes? I was gravely mistaken. It took me 14 minutes, but I guess that kind of makes sense considering how big it is. I think this is big enough for one square. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need. I'm kind of guesstimating it. I want it to be the size of like a full-size blanket. It measures about 10 inches across, maybe like a smidge longer than 10 inches. So I'm gonna make a few and then, you know, just kind of lay them out, see how big that I want the blanket. But I'm really excited about this project. I'm hoping that by using one yarn and not having a lot of ends to weave in and not doing a super complicated design, keeping it simple, keeping it a color palette that I actually really love, will encourage me to finish. I'm gonna document her throughout the year, and once she's done, She'll be my favorite thing ever. Friend, before you go, let's do a weekend tote update. So this is what she's looking like. This is basically what I'm gonna work on for the rest of this weekend. I'm supposed to be knitting in the round for 9 inches. I have about 7 inches right now. So I have about 2.5, 3 inches more to knit in the round. The cotton yarn is starting to get heavy. It's starting to feel actually like a bag. But yes, these are 2 projects I am determined to finish. This year, I want to have a collection of things that I actually finish. So I really am trying to put an emphasis on making things that I'm going to use and in colors that I want to wear, want to carry, because I am very determined this year, you know, to incorporate my knits more into my life. I feel like I spend so much time knitting, but I don't really have any knits that I wear or any knits that I use. And this is the year that we're going to change that. I am determined. So thank you for spending the last couple of days with me. We have some exciting things in the make for sure. I will be updating the bag on Ravelry if you want to check that out. Remember that you can always start over and change your projects and pivot and do something new if what you're working on is not inspiring you. We are supposed to feel good about making our art, and we can change our mind at any time. Okay, that's enough. My phone literally just turned off and was like, girl, you have no storage. So thank you so much again, friend. I will see you next Sunday.